Welcome everybody. I'm Jay Skinner. This is Jay Skinner Go Live, PDT Associates, buyers and sellers in a big day. We're just getting started. Give everybody a chance to get on because Jeffrey Gitomer is going to be here in a minute. Having some fun. I see people coming on board. One special thing about today is you're going to have an opportunity to chat directly with Jeffrey Gitomer, the King of Sales. Hey, we're live. Good to see you. I'm Jay Skinner. We're buyers and sellers, PDT Associates, live every Friday at 10:35. And I'm so glad that you've joined us. This is fantastic. Just a little bit of, I don't know if you want to call it housekeeping or what, but I want you to know right here as I've got my camera and a screen, there's another screen over here and another one over there. And so I'm doing some production. And as I do that, you can understand that. And I'm also watching in case I get a message or something here, someone beeps me on something. Jeffrey's going to be here and he'll be in the green room here pretty soon. And when he does, the topic is reinvent, restart, and rebuild. That's one of the things, but I want you to understand that this is an opportunity for some of us. It's an opportunity of a lifetime to actually get to talk directly with Jeffrey Gitomer. And so we'll talk a little bit. I know he'll have things to say. He'll certainly be addressing this topic. And Jeffrey's in the green room right now. And I want to tell you that I am so proud to know him. He's the best-selling author of 17 books, including the most read book on selling ever called The Little Red Book of Selling. Jeffrey has the most common sense, realistic approach for buyers and sellers ever. People don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. So all you business owners and salespeople here, and just anybody that ever wanted to ask a question, there's going to be an opportunity at the end. Here's your chance. It's going to be your opportunity to ask a question of the King. So all that being said, I would like to introduce Mr. Jeffrey Gitomer, and I'm going to give him a musical interlude as he comes in. Live from Broadway. Broadway, that's by the Drifters.
Do you know, and we talked about it yesterday when we were preparing, Stoller and Lieber wrote that song in probably the late 50s, early 60s. And to give you an idea what the timing was, one of the lines in there is "one thin dime will shine your shoes." Like you could find somebody, a shoe shine boy, a shoe shine, I guess it could be a girl too, but they were typically little boys. And they'll shine your shoes for a dime, mister. And you put your foot up on a thing and you got your shoe shined. I started to wear sneakers. I haven't had a shoe shine since. But the world has changed. They still have shoe shine tables at the airports.
Yep.
Post-COVID, I guess they'll come back, but right now they're all.
That's relaxing. I've had the airport shoe shine before, and sometimes it's relaxing. And then traveling in foreign countries, there's still shoe shine boys. There used to be on the streets of Monterey or Mexico City, and take a minute and just relax at the park and get a shoe shine. That's always been fun. I remember doing that.
Yeah, and it's more fun to talk to the kid.
Oh yeah, it
It's
is.
totally more fun to talk to the kid. Anyway,
It is.
it's
Well, music, I love it.
yeah, me too. So how are you doing, Tanner? What's up with you?
Well, we're taking care of business. I have Jeffrey Gitomer, the king of sales, on my
Oh,
show today. How about that? Can you believe it?
unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thank you so much for coming, Jeffrey. This is cool. Um, the thing here is we're 30 minutes up and down. So when people get in, they don't think, oh my gosh, I'm going to spend a lifetime on this show, and the replays are there if they want to. Especially today, I'm going to try to do less talking, which would be hard for me. I'm going to try to do less talking. You're the man. I'm so glad to have you. You've changed my life between the Little Red Book of Selling and other books and the time that we spent together on, and I'm going to put this right up here right now. Anyone that wants to enjoy the wisdom and awesomeness of Jeffrey Gitomer and have this for life that you can use to study for yourself, as well as if you're a teacher and so forth, this is material you can use to teach others. How about a compendium of everything Jeffrey Gitomer? There's where you go to get it. I'm part of the Insiders Club, and it's a blast. You want to say anything more about the Insiders Club?
Only that there's three basic fundamentals. There's connection, obviously. There's content, obviously, and there's community. But there's also a sense of belonging when you're in this particular organization. You get to talk to your comrades in selling. And there's questions. I answer questions, but so do the people that are in there. The master classes are amazing. So you get the content, and it's just go and sign up. I don't want to sell it. People buy it.
And if someone buys it and they hate it, you'll give them their money back, right?
Of course. Yeah,
of course. That's the way it works. It's a riskless proposition, and all I can tell you is it's been awesome for me and many others, and it's a blast, and it's an interesting group of high-powered, interesting, wonderful people, and you'll love it. So I wanted you to know about that, because that's the gift that keeps on giving. Once this show's over, you go there, you get more of it. The topic today was something that kind of came to me as a result of all of us being together, and it was reinvent, restart, and rebuild. And I thought about things, and people know he's Colonel Sanders, who started in his 60s and built an empire. And then I have a friend named Armin Tabby, who Armin Tabby, and those of you that do work, he's had tile equipment and spacers and Tabby tools. And if you go to Lowe's, you'll see some of this stuff. And he started when I used to talk to him, he was always proud that he started in his 60s and awesome things happened. You go down through this list. Author Laura Ingalls Wilder, Little House on the Prairie. Betty White, she's still repeating and reinventing herself. How about, ever heard of Grandma Moses, one great painter? She started at the age of 76. Clara Peller, pop culture sensation with Where's the Beef on the Wendy's commercials. And then a best-selling author named Frank McCourt. All these people restarted their lives in business at age 65 or over, made a fortune, and cool things have happened. So Jeffrey, I'm going to just ask you to address that topic for the people right now about reinvent, restart, and rebuild. What do you think about that?
I got an A in English composition at Temple University. Other than archery, it was the only A I received. I went for about 5 years, never got a sheepskin, day school, night school, you name it. In the middle, I took off a year, traveled in Europe, and went to the Goethe Institute in Berlin, learned how to speak German. But writing was always something that I was good at, but never did. At 46 years old, I wrote my first column for the Charlotte Business Journal. So if you're out there and you're younger than 46, you're ahead of me. If you start now. My speeches, 48 was my first speech, although I did a few before then, but it didn't really manifest itself into a career until 48. And I've given 2,500 speeches since then. So anybody who's in their 20s or 30s and is looking for a way to go, pick something that you love to do. Because if you don't love to look, when Skinner played the piano, couldn't you get the fact that he totally loves it? You think he stayed on for an extra 8 bars just for the hell of it? You hear him play for himself? Of course, all musicians do. And by the way, if you're not following Rick Beato on YouTube, you're missing out on a freaking musical genius of rock and roll and of classical and of jazz and. He's just a brilliant guy. Love watching him. And secondly, if you're going to reinvent yourself, and now's the perfect time to do it because the pandemic has flattened the playing field literally globally. You can do anything now, anything. You can open up a takeout restaurant from your garage and people will drive up for your hamburger. So I think that you need to look at selecting something. If you don't love what you do, then freaking change it. Life's too short not to love what you do. And I can tell you, Skinner loves what he does. I love what I does. And I'm looking at the people that are in attendance today, and I know they're all doing what they love. So I'm happy that I'm here, but even more happy that I get to intensify my message during this period of time. I'm 11 days away from celebrating 1 year on my live show, and I did not award a book today, but I'm going to give it to you, Skinner.
Really? So, oh my! I had no idea.
So Thank you. No problem. Just text me and say, "Where's my damn book?"
Okay.
And you get book number 5.
Wow.
Cool. They're all
so and that is so exciting. I really, really appreciate it. And so I have to tell everyone, I'm as we watch oh my gosh, why'd you do that to me on my show? Jeffrey.
Yeah.
In the last several months that we've really gotten to know each other, my life has changed. And I really appreciate having the opportunity. I read your book, The Little Red Book of Selling, almost 2 years ago, and was moved by it. But it all of a sudden had the opportunity through the 959 Club. And I need to tell everybody that too, that we have a 959 Club. Holy cow. You go to find Jeffrey Gitomer right now, like we're broadcasting on multiple platforms through StreamYard. Jeffrey's doing the same thing. He taught me to do that. And he's on multiple platforms. Find his thing, 9:59 Eastern time. How would you like to be able to engage with Jeffrey every single day of the week? How long have you done it so far, Jeffrey?
I'm 5 days away, so we're 350 something days straight. Saturday, Sunday, every day. And I do it. Salespeople right now need answers. They're looking for some kind of an opportunity. They have some kind of an issue. It is, come on. It's a tough time. It's a different time. And no one can say, well, the last time this happened, because there was no last time. This is the first time this bullshit has ever come down on our society. We've lost freedoms. Everybody looks like they're going to rob a fucking bank. And I can't put myself in a position where I accept that. I do not accept that. And I'm trying to do it in a great way so that as I emerge, I'm also helping other people emerge.
And it's working.
Yeah, that's the mission.
I mean, I've been live according to how you helped teach me for, I don't know if this is the 5th or 6th time regularly on every Friday, following the prescription that's in your book called Go Live, that is not only chapters by you, but by other people. And as a result, I actually have some customers online here, I think. My business has blown up. And I've had people say, Jay, I've had a chance to watch you, talk to you, and so forth. And then they contact me. Holy cow.
Isn't that cool?
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. And you've invested your time and your wisdom.
Yes. So what I want to make sure is we got a lot of people who have come and they've made some comments and so forth. Let's go through them and have some fun. You might see some people you know. And oh, there's Joaquin. Jeffrey, are you able to see those comments on your screen?
Yep, I can see every single one of them.
Oh my gosh, feel free to talk to your friends. How about that?
Yeah. Listen, Joaquin he's just a good guy. He posts quotes from Samuel Smiles. He's a Samuel Smiles expert right now. And I see your daughter's on the show. I like that.
Well, Sharon Skinner?
Yeah.
That's my niece, believe it or not, my brother's daughter. And Sharon has been going live longer than me. And I guess I need to promote her because Sharon, if you can, type in the name of your business, but you're something about shucking and doing something else, and it's
Cool.
marvelous. If you want to put on what you're doing, she
Cool.
has lit it up, won awards in her company, and doing great things. And what she sells is so much fun, and people buy it. It's awesome. So good, Sharon. If you want to type it in later, write down what you do so we can.
So if anybody has any questions, you can post them.
Yes, and I'm going down through. We certainly have some more time here, so I'm looking for questions. Just think about if you had that question. I would like to ask the King of Sales a question. This is the time we're going to get to the bottom. Hey, Kevin, and then there's Stuart. There you go. Hi there. Glad you made it. Oh, Joaquin, love it. Oh, by the way, I watch Joaquin live. And he's going live regularly from what country is it? I forget. What country is he from?
Norway.
Yeah, Norway. Don't you love it?
Yeah.
From Norway. And he talks and walks and has a lot of wisdom. And I would say get to know him. And anybody see people on here?
They're very smart.
Yes.
They study. Look, this is his second language. Just keep that in mind. Anybody who's from a foreign country that talking to you in English, that's not how they were raised. Well, I have a feeling in Scandinavia, most people are raised. I've confronted little kids in Scandinavia. They can all speak English, but it's still not their native tongue. So they're bilingual immediately, mostly trilingual or more. It's phenomenal.
It's awesome. Eric, thanks for coming by. Glad you liked the music. This was fun this morning. It's like, I don't know if you guys have noticed on my profile that song I played, that's my part when I play the keyboard for the Drifters, Coasters, Platters, Marvelettes. That's a little sidebar I've done for about 25 years as a keyboard guy for those guys in concerts. So that's
you're playing Motown and before.
Pardon me?
You're playing Motown and before.
Yes.
There's a way before Motown.
Well, see, it's just interestingly enough, my mother was 45 and my dad was 50 when I was born. So my nearest sister probably could be my mother. It was a different life to live, but when you grow up with older parents, it's a different life, and I enjoy something really wonderful. I went to all the parties. I went to all the events. I was talking to adults and older people from the time I was, could talk. And then we got into piano playing, and there was a guy who used to play the piano with us at parties. And I remember Mom would say, Jay, it's 10 o'clock at night, school night. She'd say either play the piano or go to bed. And if you play the piano, play something we know. So there I'd break into 5'2", Ain't She Sweet, Roll Out the Barrel. Who knows? It was great. So thanks, Mom, for that. Hey, Tom. Eric, I'm glad you loved it. Thank you for coming. Doug Wing, how about that? Welcome. Do you want to tell them who Doug Wing is? I mean, everybody knows Doug Wing, but they don't know who he is.
Doug Wing is from the founding family of the Little Giant Ladder Company. His dad, Hal Wing, is celebrating his birthday today in heaven. And Doug is he's not a good guy. He's a great guy, period.
Yes.
I want to throw something at the group. If you're looking to reinvent yourself, if you're looking to try to find out where you fit, I think you need to go back and study where you've been and take the moments, go back to your old businesses, go back to your old offices, go back to your old homes, picture yourself in every one of those rooms and write down some of the people that have impacted you. And I promise you, memories will shoot in your head immediately of what you loved. That's number one. But then go back and list a dozen people that you interacted with over that period of time, and more memories will come. Then go back and list the songs that were popular then, and more memories will come back. And I think you need to look at your life from a historical perspective in order to really figure out where you are right now and where you want to go. I'm writing a book called The Four Questions. The four questions are all about what's going on in your life, but it asks some pretty serious pieces about what do you have? What do you want? The big one, what's missing? And what are you willing to do to get what it is that you want? And the answer is not whatever it takes, because that's a bullshit answer. The answer has to be specific in what are you willing to do on a daily basis to be able to make that happen? What do you have? What do you want? What's missing? What are you willing to do to get what you want? So there's other questions, but those are the prime ones that will drive you. For me, what's missing are my mom and dad. If you think about that, it's like there is not a day that goes by. I have a sign in my office, an old street sign, Flatbush Avenue. It's where my mom lived. I have a gas pump from Wayne Pump, where it was my dad's big investments. And so I look at my parents every day. I can't help but think of those things. And I have, if you're ever lucky enough to come to join our mastermind or come to some of the weekends that are at our place here, you're going to see how I remind myself of who I have become by keeping things that I used to be, or that I used to do, or that I used to know, or things that I admire. And they're all over the place. They're literally all over the place. And, you know, this is 1/10 of my library. But it shows you what's there in your head. The books on creativity, or the books on religion, or the books from John Patterson's library, the founder of the National Cash Register Company. There's blessings all over this place. So you count your blessings by naming them. You know, like, oh, I'm really grateful. Oh, yeah, you're really grateful? For what? Or for who? And once you start to list those blessings, even more clarity is going to come, because you're going to want more. Everybody wants another blessing. Everybody wants another blessing. There ain't enough time for less blessings in your life. Come on. So I'm looking at some of these comments here, and now that I've jogged people's minds. So the question for the King of Sales just got done with Get Shit Done, mentioned the sales slump. When was the last time you had one? How long did it last, and how did you get out of it? I can't honestly say that I've had a sales slump ever, because I'm always pushing out information that makes people want more. See, I don't make any cold calls. I've done 2,500 speeches since I was 48 years old, but I never made a sales call. I just wrote something and people liked it, and they found me. Every penny that I've made since March 23rd, 1992, when my first column appeared in the Charlotte Business Journal, I can trace back to something that I wrote. So y'all aren't having a slump. A slump is just a symptom. The problem is you're not broadcasting enough, you're not writing enough, you're not shaking enough hands. There's something that's missing. And it's not activity. It's productivity that's done in an effective way. I don't care how active you are. I care how effective you are. because sales managers, like idiots, well, I measure activity. Why? Why don't you measure effectiveness? Well, that's harder to measure. Right. That's why you're the boss. You do the things that are a little bit harder to do. Otherwise, you're a lazy ass.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
But what a thank. Felix is here. Hey, Felix, thanks for coming. Glad you like it. Hey, Ron. How about that? Eric, I want to just go down here. Don't want to miss anything here. Hey, Doug Wing. People are talking to each other. Hey, Ken Walls. Oh my gosh. Ken.
Walls,
How are you doing time wise, Jeffrey? You want to tell? You got a few more minutes?
Yeah, I got a couple more minutes.
Okay,
Here's the deal. Listen,
crying out loud.
Ken Walls has an academy called Grow Live. Just sign up. Grow Live Academy, probably growlive.com or growliveacademy.com. Just go find it and buy it. Don't be a cheap bastard when it comes to investing in your own education. But he gives 1,000 times more value than you pay for, minimum.
Felix, there's a question. Let's see, what does it say? How do we utilize the modern technology, social media, emails, and all that jazz to empower our sales?
You post something valuable to your prospective customer or your existing customer. That's it. I don't give a shit about your backyard barbecue. I don't care. You know, I want something that I would save. So if you post something, ask yourself, would my customer enjoy this? Is it valuable to him or her? Will they save it? And even more, will they pass it on? Because if they're going to pass it on, that means you're going to get another prospective customer. So it's about sharing. It's about word of mouth. People confuse that with word of mouth. Word of mouth is yippee yap about a restaurant that you went to last Thursday night. But when you post on Yelp about what happened and how great it was, thousands of other people are going to use it to influence their purchasing decision. That's what you need to do.
Now, this is my son, Eli, owner of Simplify Real Estate in Indianapolis, and he has a question. This whole concept of restart, rebuild, reinvent everything will place me right in the middle of needing everything in get you know what done.
Get shit done. Yeah.
Book. Any
Right.
specific new thoughts or even parts of that book that are extra important for us today? What do you think?
You have to, first of all, prepare the night before for the next day. So you brain dump everything that's on your mind, no matter how smart or simple it seems. You put everything down on paper. That way you can fall asleep in 2 seconds without having to think about, oh shit, I got to do this. Or shit, I got. So I, for years, went to sleep with a yellow pad by my bed so that I would always write something down. And now I just have my phone and I just text myself. I never forget, ever, ever, ever. And I never have something on my mind that I don't get off my mind. And that way I can turn over and boom, I'm out. So that's number one. Number two, you have to also decide what you're doing for other people and how that is impacting them, and continue to post about that every day. That's your get shit done has to have impact to your customer, or you're not really doing anything. You're, in one of those things where the gerbil chases himself.
That wheel.
Not good. Yeah. The spinning wheel. What goes up must come down.
So my niece came back, Sharon. It's called Sharon Shucking, Fizzing, and Founding Rain Beauty Artist 512 Day Live. You're 512 days live in a row, honey. Oh my gosh.
Cool.
Way to go. Congratulations, Sharon Skinner Hoffmeister. That's awesome. Phil Teague, Rectify Solar, premier solar, residential solar company, also commercial, and they're across the country from Indianapolis to California. Nice to see you. Glad you're here. Hey, Kim Walsh, Joaquin. You know it. We love Joaquin. Here we go. We're saying hi to everybody. Thanks, Sharon. She's been to some concerts. Charles Coachman. Good to see you. Welcome. It's good to have friends here.
Yeah.
Doug, okay, we're all saying hi to each other. I want to get down to the end of the list here. Make sure we don't miss anybody. Doug Wing, there we go. Did we do that?
Yeah, we did. And I wanted to add one more thing to that slump thing.
Okay.
The slump is the symptom. It is never the problem. There's a why that you're in the slump.
Mhm.
I've written a couple of articles. I think if you go to Gitomer.com and enter sales slump in the search, I think you'll find some stuff in there that's pretty interesting. But you have to go back to your last 10 sales and analyze how they were made, and the 11th one will pop right up. Salespeople are too busy whining about nothing.
There we go. Keep going. Everybody, I always promise 30 minutes up and down, but this is too good not to keep going. Kevin, interesting. You've reinvented yourself many times. You think you're related to Thomas Edison. I like that. Abraham, you're listening and learning. How about that? I'm so glad. You may be one of my friends from Liberia, or I don't know where you're from. I've got a whole lot of people from around the world that we're friends with. Brian, good to see you, my friend. And you've shared it to your Construction Pros group. So glad to see you've got 70,000 members right now, many of whom are business owners. Keep it up, Jay Skinner. God bless you, Brian, for sharing it. And, we're special. We go back, and you are a special guy. Eli, great. You put a pad next to your bed after you read that part. You're going to do it. 100% great way to relax. Thank you, Eli. Charles, Doug, hi, Eric. We're saying hi. Want to make sure I don't think I missed anybody.
I think you're pretty good.
I think we're good.
So the recap is pretty simple for today. Find something you love and do it with all your heart. And that's been going on. That's been going on. Every single personal development book I've ever read from the 1850s on will tell you exactly the same thing. When you love what you do, it ain't work. And too many people go to work. I don't go to work. I'm having a good time. People want to know if I'm retired. Yeah, I'm retired. I've been retired for 40 years. Because when you're retired, you do what you love.
You do. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on Jay Skinner Live, PDT Associates with Jeffrey Gitomer. Wow, what a show. Bye now. Thanks for coming.